KM Radio with your boy Tony G and Big Lou, the sports book, every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. A lot of great college basketball, some pros, some women's. I'll tell you what, shout out to, here's one of the little schools that we always talk about. Shout out to Oakland, giving NC State all they could handle.
Oh yeah.
NC State, it took them to overtime. It was a great game. I got to watch that right to the end. And I'll tell you what, Oakland was in it. They were there. They were right there with them. NC State just was a little bit too much there at the end. But like I said, there for a second, I really thought Oakland was gonna pull it off, and that would be a pretty big Cinderella story. That's a number 14 that would have made it to the Sweet 16, which would have been a big deal. Some of the other games that we had picked. I mean, no surprise that Purdue just pounced all over. You know what I mean? That Purdue is the kid broke the record for most threes and most Purdue player ever to hit that many threes in the playoffs. UConn rolling on. They handled their business. Clemson, this was a little bit of a surprise. I really thought that Baylor was gonna win this game, but I'll tell you what, Clemson came in, handled their business, and the rest is, as they say, history. But yeah, there was a lot of good games. The Oregon, the Creighton and Oregon, that was a good game.
Oh yeah, that was a good game. I agree.
It was a very good game. Trying to a couple other ones that we had bet.
Tennessee and Texas was down to the wire too.
Yes, Tennessee and Texas.
Yes, I think that's the one. Is that the one KD showed up for?
Yeah. That was in fact, Tennessee and Creighton are going to play.
That's going to be
that's going to be a tight game. That's going to be a really close game. Clemson, Arizona, that should be another good game. See what else we got. Trying to put them all.
Oh, we got Houston versus Duke in the South.
I like Duke. I like Duke. I really do. I mean, Duke. Nothing against Houston, but Houston had a hard time. And I think if they don't get off to a fast start against Duke, I think they're in for a long night.
Right.
I don't think you get the luxury to make as many mistakes against Duke.
You got to play sound and smart basketball when you're playing against a high intelligent ran program like Duke.
Absolutely. And then now I'm going to tell you another one. NC State, Marquette. NC State's got what it takes. They got that big guy. They got the big man. I like them. They play tough. They got their work cut out. I haven't checked the spreads on the Marquette and NC State game just yet, but that's going to be a good game. Illinois and Iowa is going to be a good game.
Yeah,
they're all. Yeah, that's going to be and then you got Duke and Houston, and then on the other side you have UConn and San Diego State. I think San Diego State has their work cut out against UConn. Anything's possible though. Nothing taken away from San Diego State. UConn is a force though.
Yeah. And they're rolling now, and it's like when you get to this Sweet 16, you smell it. You start smelling their championship. So now they're rolling now.
And it would be cool to see San Diego State move a little further, but I think they got their work cut out. I think they got their work cut out for them. Let me see if I can pull this up.
This is going to be the toughest game. It's going to be the toughest game of the series for those guys. If they are able to pull it off, they should be smooth sailing after that. to just go to test.
And like let me see. I mean, some of these teams have played 5 games in 7 days. It's a lot of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of basketball. That puts a lot of wear and tear. I know they're young men, but still, that's it's a lot of wear and tear.
Mm-hmm. And I think they do have especially in the tournament, that they do have a regimen for them, like, eat, rest, lights out, certain time, make sure they get all their sleep, things of that nature. I would think that they would work some type of regimen like that in for those guys. But at the same time, you're all right. It's a grind. Even with all of that said, it's still a grind to play 5 days straight,
Absolutely, to play that.
hardcore, to the wire, emotionally and, physically challenging you every game. Every game gets tougher. And that's what makes it, when you get to that final four and you know what I'm saying, the further you go, that just makes it more elite because your talent doesn't get easier. That's what's so beautiful about college basketball. It's harder
So
every
they were.
time you win.
Oh, absolutely. And so they were talking today about maybe expanding the playoffs to bring in some more teams. But I don't know. I think you're starting to bring in some teams that I hate to say not don't have a chance. I mean, I know that we always got long shots, and I just think. I mean, I know it's only like 25% of the because there's more D1 schools than there ever has been.
Right.
When you go back into history, there's more. I think there's quadruple the amount of D1 schools, but not all D1 schools are created equal. I mean, we could, I mean, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, but I think, like I said, I just think that we got a lot of. I think we're at our cap. Um,
Mhm.
Now, we'll say this. So going over the games on the 29th. Uh, so Duke is getting 4 points. Houston is favorite.
Mhm.
I just like Duke. I don't. I mean, I give
You
the
got to
edge to
feel, yeah.
Houston. Yeah, I do. I got a feeling. I just think, like you said, Duke is moving on all 8 cylinders. There's no. They're not fumbling around. I think Houston. If Houston is going to win this, they're going to have to contain Duke,
Mhm.
and that's good. And that's a chore. You know what I mean? For them not to get
Right.
hot. Yeah, because
They're
they
gonna have
like
to
to
make
shoot.
Duke play their style of basketball. That's the only way they're gonna do
Right.
it.
Absolutely. There's no doubt. Um, but I do like it. I'm gonna put right now. I like Duke +4. Um,
Okay.
Creighton against Tennessee. Um, Tennessee obviously is favorite. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know. What's your thoughts on that? You think is it that is it the point spread is 3? Is it really that close?
Um, 2 seed versus 3 seed. I guess
Creighton.
I guess they went with the numbers on this one. They went with
Yeah.
the analytics as opposed to the actual it's the man, I call it man, or I'll say manalytics, or they went with the numbers except for the play, on the court. So with this game, and I guess that's why the point spread is so close, is because they're kind of the same. It just depends on turnovers and smart decisions with the basketball, smart shot, you know, things of that nature is going to have to come into play for both teams. But I think
Correct.
because of that, that's why that number is where it's at. Because even though Tennessee should be the better team, it seems like they could easily give it to Creighton.
Yeah, that's true, and it's going to be a tight game. And you've made it this far. You've made it this far in the tournament, so you just can't make it totally one sided.
Right.
Gonzaga, Gonzaga against Purdue. Purdue is rolling. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Purdue is a 5 point dog. Gonzaga is getting 5.5 points. Um, I think Purdue is the better team. I
Mm-hmm.
think Gonzaga has a lot of experience in this part of the tournament. That's a
Yeah.
close one. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't really made a decision on that one. I mean, I'm leaning towards Purdue. Um, I mean, obviously they are the favorite. They're 5.5. Um, they're not bad on the money line at 225. Um, now, NC State and Marquette. I'm going to roll with NC State. I think NC State has what it takes to win it all. A lot of things are going to have to play in their favor. But NC State is that long. I'll tell you what. I had the first night they played in the tournament. I was with some gentlemen, and the guy looked at me. He said, "NC State, it's a lock. Bet it." That's what the man told me. Looked me right in my eyes. And of course, I bet it, and never. I mean, NC State. You know, they've been on one.
Right.
Yeah, so that's it's kind of um, that is definitely on. And I like the Huskies. Connecticut -10 against um, San Diego. I think this game is. I think if they were to play in the regular season, that spread would be 20.
Right.
It's just what I'm
Absolutely.
saying. I know we're playing in
Absolutely.
the tournament, so now it's 10. Um, Connecticut's playing some unbelievable ball too. Um, and then you got Alabama, who really in the last 10 years hasn't been known for their basketball squad.
Right.
Yeah, has coming. I mean, they're +4 against North Carolina, who definitely has the experience there as far as
Oh, yeah.
a team. Maybe not this year's team, but history. Um, but like I said, a lot of good. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So that would be, and the only one left would be. Let me see. Would be Clemson against Arizona Wildcats. That should be another good game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like the under 152. Um, should be some interesting. Should be some interesting. We got a few days before. Like I always
Mm-hmm.
tell you guys, like me and Lou always tell you, look over your information. The internet's full of it. Try to make as many wise choices as you can when it comes to the tournament. Now, the next thing, how about Boston locking it down? Home field,
Oh, yeah.
home court. I'm sorry, I said home
Home
field.
court.
Same thing.
Same thing.
What are you
But
thinking, man?
yeah,
You think Boston can pull it off this year?
I think I think they can playing the way they playing and with uh and me and my cousin were talking about this earlier with Porzingis in the 20-point range a night. I think they could do it. Now, and this is why, because Bobby Portis was Milwaukee's defensive guy. I don't think they anticipated him getting, you know, getting to the Celtics like he did.
Right.
But so that now that's their X factor. And Tatum and Brown, with Porzingis and other guys playing their role in, executing, they have a strong they have a strong chance of getting to the finals. I think. They're Eastern Conference Finals definitely, but the finals absolutely. I think they have a high percentage of getting there. Even though I know Dame and Giannis is MVP level this year, I think they're going to miss that X factor.
Well, what's crazy is that they won home field. They won home court. They're 57-14, 803 percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Milwaukee's playing really, really good basketball this year, and they're 11 games behind.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty impressive. I mean, clinched conference. So they clinched conference. Um, they clinched their conference. They're gonna let me see Eastern Conference. Yeah, they and then the Nuggets are playing. See, I think the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets and the Celtics. I think they match up well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like the Timberwolves. And the Timberwolves are. I mean, they're playing great. I mean, shoot, they're 49-22,
Mm-hmm.
690 percentage. It ain't like they're not. What's so crazy is Denver's is 704, and the top six. Phoenix, they're 8 games out. New Orleans really kind of turned stuff around. They're at a
Mm-hmm.
620 percentage. They're going to the
Right.
playoffs. They won
United
44
States.
games.
Yeah.
Yep. The Clippers, I mean, their Clippers are. I'm really that surprised with the Clippers. They were good last year. I just if they lose again in the playoffs this year, I don't know.
It's- what is James Harden doing? Swatting at Kawhi Leonard's 3-pointer, he misses. Got a guy in the headlock. I mean, Cole James, it's a money grab for him. You know, not mad at him, but you know, you would think that that's just crazy to me to run up under your own teammate shot. And then he misses. It's
Yeah,
that part of
I.
that's going to keep them out. That's going to keep them out of conference finals contention.
So my thing is if they don't go that far into the playoffs, do you do you just do you just rebuild again?
You almost have to because you're going to be in cap hell if you don't. That's Paul
Yeah,
George, Kawhi, and James Harden. I
and the
think
way
they're locked
things
in.
look,
I'm not sure how they deals. How I gotta research. How many years and where they at on their deals, but it's gonna hurt them in the long run.
and I wonder, Paul George. I mean, how much longer can he play trying to win a ring?
Right.
I always
Yeah.
liked
And
him.
it's
He's like
yeah. And
like a coach on the court. Yeah,
right. And I respect. I respect 100% the talent of James Harden and IQ. You know of James Harden, but I just think that you know championship is not so much. I don't think that a championship is that important. You know, when you play, at a high level, but not had the potential to go there, but just don't have the drive to. So
right.
I don't think he cares about legacy. I think his bag's big, having fun, playing ball, you know. So
And then
yeah, I
you
think
look
it's
at
go. Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead,
No,
sir. I
go
was
ahead.
done.
Oh no, I was going to say. And then you look at what's your thoughts on the Lakers? Is this a legitimate? Do they have? I mean, can they make a little bit of a run?
They can make a little bit of a run, but Denver has their number. They got to figure out what type of squad they can put together that can, kind of help with, how Denver offense was ran. So, but I do think they can get far in the playoffs from there with LeBron and with the AD, and now that they've played, in the postseason together and have gotten close. I think they should be fine. Now, I don't think that they're going to win the Western Conference, but I think they have the potential to get there.
And I think it's the Warriors are probably going to be in the the Warriors are going to be in the playoffs. I mean, I believe they got 10 games left. They should probably you would take the top 10, right?
Right.
So they'll get their run at it. But I think on the so with the Golden State, Golden State, Los Angeles, and the Mavericks, I think they're in a unique spot where Golden State is time to make some changes.
Mm-hmm.
LA, after this season, if you don't make you got to go. You got to start going to youth, and then the Mavericks. You can't win championships with no defense.
Right.
You can win
Gotta
some
get
games.
some. Yeah. Gotta get some defense.
Yeah, they just can't. Like I said, they could beat Denver once, but they can't beat them in a series. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
Sacramento. They were looking good last year. I mean, they're winning. They're definitely having a winning season. That's moving in the right direction. Phoenix, we both thought 2 years ago they had the shot to and I think that's slipping away. I think,
Yeah. The
um,
window's tightening up a little bit.
yeah, New Orleans, like I said, they made a big improvement going to the playoffs. Um, the Clippers are the Clippers. They're in the same spot. I mean, they're really kind of not. They're a good team. Um, the Timberwolves is a team to me that could be something in the future, building
Mm-hmm.
on.
That's the dark horse
Um,
right there.
yeah, and Oklahoma's doing it with a lot of young talent. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm. They
those
look
are
very good.
two. Yeah, they look to, and Denver's got a young, really a young team. Um, they could be there for years to come. That could be a dynasty of playoff teams. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then going over to Eastern Conference, you got the Pacers are the Pacers. They got I don't know if it's a commitment that their front office just won't make. You know what I mean? They'll get them some stuff, but not a lot of stuff.
Right.
Um,
Not not sure what's going on with it.
yeah, it's kind of in Orlando. It's kind of cool to see them kind of winning some games again, because they had faded off there for a while into
Right.
oblivion. Um, but it's just kind of, and you got Miami, and there's a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of going back and forth. The Knicks are having the Knicks are having a good season. Um,
Yeah.
the Cavs are having a good season. I don't see any of that. I just it's hard for me to believe that the Cavs, the Knicks, Orlando, or the Pacers truly could rival Boston or Milwaukee. That's you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not unless an injury or, you know what I mean? Not unless something really unforeseen happened. I don't see. Um, it's hard for me to get off the Boston bandwagon. Really, I mean they're playing so good. I mean,
Right. Right. They're
every time
clicking
you
on
look
all
at
cylinders.
every time you look at them, and it shows the last 10 games, the worst I've ever seen it is 7-3. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
usually it's 9-1, 9-1, 10-0, 9-1. I mean that's saying something. They're super consistent, um, and they play great defense, and they can score, um, and they've played great at home. And Milwaukee, like I said, Milwaukee's the same way. It'll be like I said when um, this time of year trying to bet on basketball could be you got to watch because a lot of times the teams are underneath the 10 team window, um, like Detroit, Washington, Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
They can spoil you, especially if you take the points because they ain't got nothing to play for. You know what I mean? They're just trying to break. They're trying to pull some upsets. Um,
Right. Right.
yeah, and what's so crazy is Detroit won 12 games this year. Washington
Mm-hmm.
won 13, and Charlotte won 17 games.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, I know. Wow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Spurs with their new superstar won 15.
Okay.
I was, yeah, but they're going to get some more good draft choices. Um,
Yeah. He's going to learn how to get a little bigger, but not that he needs to, but he's already dominating with length. So
yeah.
yeah.
But he needs some help. He needs some help.
Yeah.
He needs some stuff around him. There's no doubt about it. And it seems like it's been forever since San Antonio's been relevant, and they were relevant for 20 years. They
Right.
won 5 championships in 20 years. I think they went to the playoffs 19 out of the 20. Can't remember how many conferences. I mean, how many divisions they won. I mean, it's not like they were not thing. And and the how do you say his name? Victor Wembanyama.
Uh, Wabinyama.
Wembanyama. So Victor
I think.
Wembanyama. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, he's having a. I mean, he's delivering. You know what I mean? He's doing what he needs to do. He just needs
Right.
some. He just needs some help. And I think, and I think they'll be all. I mean, they'll be back into the contention shortly in maybe a year or two. So, but we got a few minutes left. Again, I want to thank everyone and our KM family that makes it all possible. Everybody at the station, everybody out there in the street team. Like I said, we got a bunch of basketball this weekend, guys. If you're into betting, this is going to be the Sweet 16. Be some money made. When is the Final Four? What's the date on the Final Four?
All right. Let me click over
Is it
real quick.
the? Let me see. Because I just. Oh, I don't know what I just did.
Okay. Click on now.
Sure. 329, 328 is the games, and then we're going to go to the Final Four. Final Four is April 6th, and it says the championships to be announced. So we got this weekend. We got this weekend, Easter weekend, and then the following April 6th. Right. April 1st, April Fool's Day is Monday, and so 5 days from that day, which will be Saturday. So we'll have the Final Four on Saturday, and then we'll have it most likely on that Monday. So there you go. All right, guys. I want to thank everyone for tuning in every Tuesday, 8 o'clock on KHAM Radio, guys. Where we go ham.